Hey everyone, it's Mike here with Grow Indoors 365, back with episode 2, and we're going to call this episode Rockwool. Okay, if you don't know what Rockwool is, this is what Rockwool is. Okay, Rockwool is basically our growing medium, and what that means is it's equivalent to dirt in the hydroponic world. Okay, and this is basically, this little piece is what houses the actual seed and kind of grows, well, exactly grows in this little pod, as the pods allow root to develop right through the bottom. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, let's go over exactly what you're going to need, and we'll go through that. Again, my seeds are right here. I'm about to start transporting them into here. Here's what you need, okay? Here's what I got. I got this little stick here, really fine little point. And what do I need this for? When everything is ready, I actually scoop out the little seeds with the little tail, and I manually put them into this hole. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so we need that. We need Rockwools, depending on how many seeds, depending on how much space you have in your entire hydroponic tub. For example, my one container holds 9 plants. So I'm gonna go with like 10 to 11 of these for one individual tub, and I'm going to show you why down the line. But I will tell you now, because usually if you put in, if you have 9 and I do 11 and I put 11 seeds in here, it's a high probability of 2 of them not surviving, 2 of them not growing how you want, or 2 of them just not growing at all. So that's why I do like two more. You're going to need these guys. Okay, these are like planters. Okay, basically, after this has been soaked in a bucket, and let me show you this. Here's my bucket. Let me actually get right to this. I fill this up with water, put a little bit of some sort of like, I forgot what nutrient, but I'm going to show you just in a second. Kind of add that in there. It's like a living organ, like enzyme that like basically promotes root growth. It's a natural derivative, and basically what we do is we drop as many as you need of the Rockwool cubes into the water and let it soak for like 5 hours. Why do we do that? Because the seed actually starts growing in this. Okay, just like you might put something organic or nutritious in the dirt, we want to do the same thing for our Rockwool, because it basically houses, our seed. And throughout the first like week and a half, 2 weeks, we want to be soaking that seed. We want to make sure that the root is growing and developing properly, and we're getting the proper nutrients during that time frame. It's just like it's almost like the umbilical cord of a baby, as when the mom's eating, the baby's building nutrition throughout the pregnancy, I guess. And that's kind of that. You put this little baby in there, and it's going to be soaking up everything that this has soaked up. Now, so those go like this, and actually you're going to need this also like a larger dome shape, like, and I'm going to show you that in a second when we get there. But so we got this, we talked about that, we talked about you're going to need some of these net pods. Depending on the circular circumference of your net pod, these are like 1.5. That's the shape of how large your hole should be, so it captures it in the hydroponic. You're also going to need just like a huge amount of these. I use this like AOK starter plugs. Okay, this is the growing medium that I use. I've always used those since day one. They're fairly cheap. This is how many is this? There was 98. I think they're like 20 bucks. Okay, it's good. It lasts for a while, and it works. So let's go to what we're going to be doing next, and that is adding water, and we're going to be throwing these into the water. Okay, now I took the bucket, I filled it up with water, as you can see there. Now, determined by the size of my reservoirs, I'm going to be throwing 27 of these cubes. That's 9 by 3. Very important. You're definitely going to need a pH reader. You're going to still need your up and down of the acidity up and down, okay? This is what I use. Okay, a little bit of this General Hydroponics. This is Silica for plant growth enhancement, okay? And I put a little bit of this. Now, as soon as if you were to measure your pH in here right now, it would be one thing. As soon as this bad boy gets put in, I mean, it's full of all sorts of awesome, like, potassium silicate, like potash. Basic stuff, but it does promote root health, and I've noticed. And I've used it, and I like it. So, I'm going to add a little bit of this, and we're going to modify the pH. That's going to be the next step. Alright, I just added some of this silica, okay, and basically as soon as I added it to the water, the pH was like 10.4. After modifying the pH down, I now brought it down to a 7.2, 7.5-ish. I like it there. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to make sure that it's really important to keep these like pretty non-acidic, like fairly in the alkaline level of like a higher pH, due to the fact that these are like really young little plants. So it's really, really important on how careful you have to be with those little seeds as they get implanted into here. Now this is the Rockwool phase. This is it. I mean, basically all I'm doing is I'm taking these and I chuck them in there, okay? And they just float down to the bottom, and I'm going to let them sit overnight. I'm going to let them sit for 5 hours. I'm going to let them sit for 10 hours. It really does not matter. Let them soak for overnight. Even 24-hour period of time, it does not matter. But the next phase will be transplanting the little seedlings into the Rockwool, and I'm going to call that episode 3, the transplant. And so again, this is the Rockwool phase. I just want to make sure I got everything for you guys. We talked about everything that you need. We talked about the additives into the water, and that's really it. You drop the Rockwool, boom, you're done. So during the transplant stage, I will show you more on how we take the seed, put it into the Rockwool, and how we put that into a dome and under the light for development prior to actually going directly into the reservoir. Stay tuned.